Hi, good afternoon, everybody. And Angie from Angie Overtime. I just wanted to come on and explain why there has not been a video yet this week in regard to an interview. Um, I did have an interview set up with someone. For whatever reason, I cannot seem to connect with him. I did promise him the next spot on my videos, and I try to build trust by keeping my word. So I was hoping that I would run into him. I drove around, I couldn't find him. I have not lost hope. I will still search him out. If by next week I have not been able to connect with him, then I'll move on to a new interview person, or a new person to interview, sorry. So with that, I did want to kind of share a story that I had an experience, a couple of experiences in the community. And this is why, part of the reason why all of this is so dear to me. Back early 2020, winter of 2020, I think it was February, I was with someone in a restaurant downtown Oshawa, and while we were sitting there, I was having a coffee, and that individual was eating their lunch. Somebody passed by my left-hand side. He appeared to be homeless, or at least struggling financially, just by his presentation of self. He was a little bit unkempt, and he looked like he wasn't doing well. So I had made the decision that I was not only going to pay for the lunch at my table, but I was also going to pick up this gentleman's tab. You know, some people, you just they can pass by you and your heart kind of pulls for them, and that was one of those situations. So after the person that I was with, they had finished their lunch, I proceeded to go to the front desk and pay the bill. And I said, oh, by the way, that gentleman sitting over there, and I pointed to the gentleman. I said, I'd like to also pick up his tab as well. Much to my heartbreak, she looked at me and she said, oh yeah, no, that person paid already. And I was like, oh, well, he hasn't received his food. And she said, yeah, those people, we make them pay when they order. So yeah, his is paid for. And my heart broke, because when she said those people, I knew what she was referring to. And what really hurt my heart is that gentleman heard her. He looked up from his table and he looked in our direction, and I could see that he had heard us. And that broke my heart, because I can't imagine sitting in a public restaurant and being referred to as one of those people, and overhearing that type of conversation. So I just paid the bill. I was burning inside, partly because I hurt for that poor gentleman, and I was really angry for the way the person had, the waitress had, she had kind of centered him out. I will not share the address or the restaurant, because I don't want to mean any harm to anyone's business. That person could have just been having a bad day. We've all had them. We've all been there, but it just, it broke my heart. Another one, if you follow me on Facebook, I think it was in May of 2020, the same year, I was in a grocery store, and again, I won't share which store, because I just think it's wrong. I think we've all had bad days, so I won't share what store, but I was in the express aisle, and I was trying to rush and get through, and there was a lady ahead of me. I could tell that, again, just by presentation of self, I could tell that she wasn't doing well, and she was probably homeless and suffering from possibly addictions, just the way she was presenting. As she went through, it was, she had said to the lady, oh, it's raining and I'm walking, I'll need a bag, can I get a bag? Without even asking this lady, the clerk pulled out a paper bag and started loading her stuff into that bag, and charged her $1. I think it was $1 for that bag. The lady, the customer said, no, I'm sorry, I'm walking, and you can see, and we could see the whole wall was windows. It's storming out. I'm not going to get 2 feet with a paper bag. So the clerk said, okay, well, it's going to be another $1.50 for the plastic one. Now, the lady was, I gave you all my money, and I could clearly see she had cashed out with change. And the clerk was, no, you know, that bag's been touched. That's now your bag. you have to pay another one. Now, remembering this was early pandemic, so I understand the bag was touched, but she really should have asked her what type of bag. Long story short, I ended up giving the money for the plastic bag because this poor girl had nothing. She had spent her money on the few items that she had actually purchased. And I remember walking out and being so angry and posted something on my Facebook wall, but also forgetting that in the moment, it was a pandemic. We were all walking around with high emotions. So I feel bad about that post and how being so angry with the clerk because of the situation, but also at the same time I have to really think about how would that person feel. How would you feel if you were treated like that, being called one of those people, or being forced to spend your last dollar on a bag and then finding out that it's the wrong type of bag before you kind of connect the dots that it's no good for you. I just try to really put myself in their shoes. And when I say theirs, I mean those that are being treated poorly. We've all had our own encounters. I'm not saying that every homeless person has been wonderful and great to deal with, but let's be honest, you don't have to be homeless to be a jerk, right? Like there are just as many jerks that are living in the brick and mortar buildings than there are those that are living in tents. So I don't think your social status should really have anything to do with or predict how you're going to be as a person. And that is really what this is all about. Well, it's about just being kind and having some compassion for those that have less than what we do. Also, last week I did state that I wanted to share a really good link. Now, I'm not going to put the link in the description box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read out the website. This is a new website. It's all really geared to addictions for drugs or alcohol. It is a regulated kind of program that you go on. It's free. You sign up and then you just kind of work at your own pace with your addictions. So if you're somebody who feels that you do have an addiction and you're struggling and you don't know how to get help, or you don't really want to go through the process of being in person, or you're afraid that your work might find out, or something like that, then this is really good for you. So the program that I'm going to refer to, the online program, and it's not a referral, my apologies. This is just something that I recommend that if you want to do it on your own. It's called Breaking Free Online / Recovery Program for Alcohol and Drugs. I do recommend that if you are kind of going through addictions and you're afraid of next steps, then just go into the site, kind of work your way around, see if it is something that is for you. Just visit the site. It's free and it only takes a minute, and you might actually connect some dots there and be able to self-soothe or support. Also, I mentioned about other programs in terms of managing emotions, that kind of thing. I want to give you a number. It's for a company, Durham Mental Health Services, and this is the Crisis Access Linkage Line. A lot of people are under the impression that they can't call because they're not in crisis. As soon as they see the word crisis at the front, they think that, oh no, it's not for me. This is a linkage line that you can call and speak to someone in regard to what you might be experiencing in the moment, and then get some recommendations on next steps. You can get some referrals into programs. If you're looking for a peer program where you want to connect with somebody on a peer level, I highly recommend this program with Durham Mental Health Services. It is a great program. I used to actually work in that program, and I can say that all the peer workers there are putting 110%. They really work hard. They offer managing your emotion programs. They offer day program, music programs, some light and gentle programs that address addictions and so forth. So there's that. There's also case management. If you're struggling and you need assistance, there's case management. Through Durham Mental Health Services, we also have crisis programs that we offer crisis stays. Usually 1 to 2 days, depending on the situation. It is specific to the individual, so I don't want to give you any impression on how long you can stay there, because It is really specific to that person's needs within the moment. We do have residential programs as well. We have a family support group, which is wonderful. The lady who runs it, there are two of them, and they're fantastic. They really are. I can't recommend, or I can't mention enough and give them a shout out that way enough that everybody in those programs work really, really hard in order to support the clients while they're in their needs. So with that, it's called Durham Mental Health Services Crisis Access Linkage Line, and the number that they can be reached is 905-666-0483 or 1-800-742-1890. And that's 24/7. Okay, so it's not 9 to 5. There's always somebody at the other end. If you do, in the event that you do get an answering machine, leave a message. They will call you back. They really will. It's just, right now our community is really struggling, so that we have had a large experience of calls, but definitely call. So if you're looking for peer support or case management or crisis services or access linkage into the community, community referral sources that way, you can certainly try it that way. If you're somebody who is suffering from addictions, again, I can't stress enough that this is a really good online free counseling, not counseling service, but it's more self-taught and self-regulated program to address addictions and alcohol use. Again, that is called Breaking Free Online / Recovery Program for Alcohol and Drugs. And I really suggest that just go on there, check out the link. If it's not for you, then no harm, no foul. But if it is something that's for you and you can benefit from that, that's wonderful, because you've now saved yourself some time and struggles in terms of going to doctors, getting referrals, or going to Pinewood, which is a wonderful program. But if you're not into the face-to-face that Pinewood offers, or you're still sitting at the pre-contemplation level, this website is good for you, okay? So give it a shot. If you have any recommendations in terms of things that you do want to see, you do want me to talk about going into the community, then feel free to send me a link, or sorry, not a link, but put a comment down below, and I'll certainly watch for that, and I'll try to get that information out. Or if you're looking for a specific information for a loved one, possibly for yourself, again, put a link down below. I'll catch that, and I'll try to connect with you, and certainly provide that information as well. Also, I do want to mention that I am trying to hit up all the community supports here within Durham Region. I'm trying to do one at a time. Today I did Durham Mental Health Services and the website. I think that should be enough. The reason why it's only one a week is I don't want to overwhelm people. But if there is something you're looking for specifically, I'll certainly try to help you that way. And if I don't know the answers, I'll find it. I will just start knocking on doors and make sure that I do find that information for you. A lot of our community supports are more than happy to help us. Unfortunately, what's happening is they don't get enough attention, so that's what I'm trying to do, is draw the attention. I did start on with Zion. I would like to filter back to Zion, because I kind of missed a lot of the wonderful stuff that they're actually doing. It is a church, but it's also a food bank, and they're doing some really wonderful things for the community, so I want to share that. But I will circle back to them. I will try to do some live videos with those support groups, support services, and maybe you can meet face to face and see someone and see behind the scenes, that kind of stuff. I'm really trying to get that information out to you, so just a little bit of patience. I am new at this. I know that my stuff is really raw, and I can use a lot of help in learning how to do it properly, but I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to get that information out. And if you have somebody who has a story and wants to share it, reach out to me. If you have a story you want to share your personal experience, reach out to me. This is about community awareness. If I feel that the community can benefit from the information, then I'm going to absolutely post it. Okay. So I hope that this will eventually help you out. I really hope that you guys try out the Breaking Free Online. I think that it's a really good website, and I actually hand that out. I think I gave that out to 3 of my clients last week. So honestly, I think that you know, you would benefit just by kind of bouncing around and feeling it out and getting to know it, because even if you're not suffering, chances are you might know someone who is. Okay, so have a wonderful week. I will be posting. I'm going to try to be more regular and try to keep things kind of flowing nicely for you. I will work on my video stuff. I am very novice. I do apologize for that, but my heart is in the right place, and everybody starts somewhere. So have a wonderful week, everybody, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.